One of the famous maps is the Piri Reis map, created by a Turkish admiral called Piri Reis in the year 1513.
In 1513, Piri Reis, an Ottoman admiral, created a map that depicts the coast of Antarctica, even though it wasn't discovered until 1818. This map has confused experts for centuries by showing Antarctica as a lush jungle. Why are so many experts genuinely concerned that this could happen again in our most dense jungles? Let us reveal why this is a major warning sign for humanity, as the next winter could be our next ice age. The story of Piri Reis's map. The theory that Earth's outer crust might shift dramatically, changing the positions of continents quickly, leans towards less credible scientific theories. Tectonic plates do move, but not as drastically or quickly as some might suggest. In 1929, nestled within the serene halls of the Topkapi Palace Library in Istanbul, a discovery was waiting to unfold that would challenge conventional historical perspectives. Gustav Deismann, during his examination of ancient documents, uncovered the Piri Reis map, crafted by the Ottoman admiral Piri Reis and drawn on the fine skin of a gazelle. This map depicted regions of the world that, by all accounts of history at the time, should have remained unknown to the mapmaker. What was striking about the Piri Reis map was its depiction of the Western Hemisphere with an unexpected level of detail. The coastline and island chains shown on the map were so precise that they mirrored geographical features only officially recorded decades later by European explorers. This raised significant questions about the sources of information available to Piri Reis and whether there might have been earlier, undocumented discoveries of these lands. The map served not only as a piece of historical curiosity, but also as a challenge to the accepted limits of geographical and historical knowledge of the time. It hinted at a world that was much more interconnected than previously believed, with cultures and civilizations possibly sharing knowledge across continents long before it was documented in the history books. As scholars delved deeper into the implications of the Piri Reis map, they began to reevaluate the narrative of historical maritime exploration. The map suggested that the cartographic skills of ancient civilizations were perhaps far more sophisticated than acknowledged, raising the possibility that these skills could have been influenced by lost techniques or unknown exchanges between distant peoples. Through the continued study of the Piri Reis map and similar artifacts, historians are slowly peeling back the layers of time to reveal a global history that is far richer and more complex than the simple tales of discovery and exploration that have been told. Each line and contour on the map serves as a clue in unraveling the true extent of ancient knowledge and the breadth of early voyages that shaped our understanding of the world. Many scholars, historians, and those fond of conspiracy theories have studied the map extensively, drawn to its unique portrayal of the Earth. However, many experts dismiss the peculiarities of the map as the imaginative additions of Piri Reis. They argue that these depictions are not proofs of the map's accuracy, but rather misinterpretations by people today, who impose modern geographical knowledge onto this historical artifact. The skeptics point out that the map-making techniques available during the early 16th century, while quite advanced for their era, did not support the precise and detailed depiction of territories that had not yet been explored. They suggest that the apparent accuracy of the Antarctic coastline might be an illusion, a case of people seeing patterns or details that they want to believe are there, known as pareidolia. After Hollywood's dark tales, let's explore ancient maps and unknown lands. Is it a fact or folklore? The Piri Reis map is also a favorite topic among those who indulge in speculative histories and conspiracy theories. These individuals often suggest that the map is evidence of an ancient, advanced civilization that had the capability to navigate and map the globe with accuracy, rivaling or surpassing that of later explorers. Academic experts, however, caution against such interpretations, noting several inaccuracies and imaginative elements that align more with folklore than with the geographical knowledge available at that time. From a historical standpoint, the map is a fascinating document. It offers insights into what was known and what was speculated about the world's geography during the Renaissance. The map likely combines accurate information available from explorers at the time with conjectures and artistic liberties, typical of the map-making practices of that era. Map-makers often filled unknown areas with speculative geographic details based on rumors and the limited reports from the frontiers of exploration. Despite the allure of believing that the map could be a record of unrecorded explorations or evidence of a forgotten advanced civilization, such views often reflect a contemporary desire to find hidden truths in the past. This inclination can cloud the interpretation of historical artifacts, emphasizing the need for careful and critical analysis of the evidence at hand. The ongoing debate over the map highlights a broader challenge in the study of history: the difficulty of separating the desire for sensational discoveries from the factual basis of historical research. In essence, the Piri Reis map remains a notable artifact of Renaissance cartography. It is a testament to the knowledge and the creative impulses of its time, illustrating both the extent and the limits of early modern understanding of the world. The map's precise rendering of coastlines, such as those of South America's eastern shore and the Caribbean islands, was notably superior to many of its contemporaries. It accurately depicted the Brazilian coastline, carefully marking out river mouths and headlands which many European cartographers of the time either ignored or got wrong. These notes were practical, detailing critical data about ocean currents which were essential for safe and effective navigation. Yet, they went beyond mere navigational aids. They offered a glimpse into the interactions between European explorers and the indigenous populations they encountered. This was a time of intense and often brutal encounters, and the map's detailed notes provide a subtle lens through which these early interactions can be viewed. Furthermore, the annotations hinted at the Europeans' broader intentions. By documenting geographical details and cultural encounters, they were not just charting unknown waters, but were also staking claims, both literal and figurative, on the new worlds they encountered. The map also ventured into fantastical realms, depicting mythical islands and sea monsters, blending real geography with the myths and legends that sailors often told. These features likely served to captivate the imagination of those who viewed them, while also instilling a sense of caution about the perils that lay in unexplored waters. In addition to its practical and ethnographic qualities, the map also functioned as a piece of persuasive cartography, subtly supporting the European drive for exploration and expansion. It painted a picture of a world ripe for discovery and conquest, embellished with elements of danger and wonder that were typical of the era's exploration narratives. Despite its utility and artistic embellishments, the map also reflected the darker aspects of exploration. It was a tool in the service of empire, used not just to navigate, but also to dominate. The detailed depictions and annotations served a dual purpose: guiding ships through treacherous waters and guiding the hands of rulers as they carved up new territories. As such, the map was a product of its time, rich in information, steeped in the allure of the unknown, and shadowed by the larger motives of conquest and colonization. The Piri Reis map features a curious depiction of a southern landmass connected to South America by a narrow strip, resembling what we know today as Antarctica. This map intriguingly shows mountain ranges, bays, and inlets that closely match the actual subglacial landscape of Antarctica, even though this region was not officially discovered until 1820 and not accurately mapped until later with sophisticated equipment. This raises questions. How could a map from the 1500s contain such detailed information that aligns with modern geological data? The map's detail suggests either a remarkably accurate guess or access to lost historical information about the area. Considering the time period, the map's creator wouldn't have had the technology to accurately depict such a distant and unknown land. This depiction challenges the accepted timeline and knowledge of geographic discovery and exploration. It suggests there may be gaps in our historical record about who discovered Antarctica and when. The map could hint at earlier travels to the continent that were not recorded or widely known. From the Piri Reis map's mysteries, we dive into debates about ancient discoveries, theories of ancient global connections, According to scholars, he synthesized over 20 earlier maps to create his own comprehensive version. This map opens up a significant chapter in the study of ancient cartography and civilizations, where historical analysis merges with speculative archaeology. Remarkably, the map presents geographical details that surpass the known world at the time of its creation, which has led some researchers to theorize that it might have been derived from sources that date back to a pre-glacial period. This suggests the possible existence of an advanced maritime civilization with sophisticated mapping capabilities well before the common historical timeline would suggest. Such a proposition fundamentally challenges established views of historical progression and suggests a reassessment of the achievements of ancient civilizations. While some critics dismiss these theories as overly speculative, preferring to attribute the map's accuracies to coincidence or errors in later interpretations, others argue that the geographical consistencies with modern data are too exact to be overlooked. These discussions emphasize the complexities of interpreting ancient artifacts and question the assumptions about the technological capabilities of historical societies. The Piri Reis map continues to be a focal point for those advocating for a revised understanding of pre-modern technological advancements, indicating a world that might have been more interconnected in ancient times than is generally accepted. This ongoing debate not only sheds light on the map itself, but also on the broader implications for our understanding of early human civilizations and their ability to navigate and understand their world. The theory that ancient mariners mastered the oceans with advanced navigational skills implies that these ancient people understood complex subjects like astronomy, mathematics, and physics. This expertise is evident in civilizations such as the Maya and the ancient Egyptians, who built sophisticated observatories that align with celestial events. Such constructions suggest that knowledge of the stars was not unique to a few, but was rather a common trait among various ancient groups. The recurring designs of pyramids in both Mesoamerica and Egypt might point to these ancient civilizations having the ability to communicate over great distances, likely facilitated by their skills in seafaring. The concept of a distant common ancestor, sharing crucial navigational and mapping knowledge with different cultures, is a compelling one. This ancestor could be the link explaining why cultures, separated by vast oceans, developed similar architectural styles, suggesting an exchange of architectural ideas and building techniques that transcended geographical boundaries. The similarities in architectural structures might not be the only elements these distant cultures shared. They could have also exchanged cartographic data, enabling them to navigate and map the world in ways that modern scholars are only beginning to understand. Such a scenario rewrites the usual stories of isolated cultural development and paints a picture of a prehistoric world where knowledge and technology were shared across seas. This network of ancient knowledge exchange, supported by advanced maritime capabilities, proposes a narrative where ancient civilizations were interconnected in complex ways. The evidence for such extensive communication remains sparse, scattered across various archaeological sites, and often subject to interpretation. Yet this idea challenges the traditional view of ancient civilizations evolving in isolation, and instead depicts a world that might have been connected by shared knowledge and technological exchanges. The notion of ancient mariners sailing across open seas, charting their courses, and linking distant civilizations offers a new perspective on how the ancient world might have been more connected than previously thought. The legend of Atlantis, first introduced by Plato, spins the tale of an advanced civilization that supposedly sank beneath the waves. This concept frequently frustrates many in the archaeological community who staunchly refute the existence of such a place. They point to a lack of concrete proof and often overlook unexplored territories that might hold answers. Despite the skepticism from professionals, the idea of Atlantis continues to engage those who entertain the possibility of ancient, technologically advanced maritime societies. These societies, they speculate, might have played a significant role in fostering cultural exchanges across vast ocean distances. This isn't just idle speculation. Some scholars seriously consider these theories as they discuss the potential for discovering previously unknown advanced civilizations. Next, we move from the Vinland and Kango maps to Göbekli Tepe, challenging our history. From stone pillars to underwater cities. Mainstream archaeologists' skepticism towards Atlantis frequently appears to be a defense of academic rigor. However, it also seems like a way to dodge the implications of such a discovery. This skepticism typically seems rooted not in the actual absence of evidence, but in a hesitance to overhaul established historical narratives. The story of Atlantis, whether fact or fable, catalyzes such debates. It keeps the conversation about ancient technological advancements alive, pushing against the rigid frameworks of historical interpretation. Each unturned stone at sites like Göbekli Tepe adds layers to the understanding of human history, suggesting that the story of human civilization is far richer and more complex than the textbooks once told. In the rolling hills of southeastern Turkey lies Göbekli Tepe, an archaeological site that is reshaping the understanding of human history with its ancient, complex structures. These structures, dating back thousands of years before the famed Stonehenge, suggest that early human societies could have had advanced social hierarchies and possibly skills in navigation and map-making far earlier than scholars previously believed. As the sun sets over Göbekli Tepe, casting long shadows over its stone pillars, a similar mystery unfolds in the waters of Japan with the Yonaguni Monument. Here, beneath the ocean's surface, lies a series of rock formations that stir controversy among experts. Some argue that these underwater formations are merely natural, while others see them as evidence of an ancient civilization capable of sophisticated maritime technology. This civilization, if it existed as some believe, would have built cities that endured under the ocean and navigated vast distances to connect with distant cultures. This ongoing debate has further implications for the academic community, which often shows a reluctance to depart from established historical timelines. The slow acceptance of groundbreaking discoveries continues to hinder a fuller understanding of the capabilities of prehistoric humans. Each new finding at sites like Göbekli Tepe and Yonaguni challenges the long-held views of academia, suggesting that these ancient people were not merely primitive, but were advanced in both engineering and astronomy. Such revelations propose a more sophisticated picture of early human societies, one that spans back further in time and displays a level of advancement that rivals later historical periods. These findings compel a re-evaluation of the entire scope of human history, suggesting that the story of early humans is not just older, but also richer than the current records indicate. As archaeologists uncover more evidence, they are tasked with integrating these new insights into a cohesive historical narrative, which could dramatically change the understanding of human achievement in prehistoric times. The concept that ancient myths about gods and heroes like Poseidon or Gilgamesh could be rooted in the lives of actual historical figures hinges on intriguing artifacts such as the Vinland map. Discovered in the 20th century and claimed to originate from the mid-15th century, the map depicts Vinland, a region along North America's northeast coast, known from Norse voyages around the year 1000 AD. Despite its historical significance, the map's authenticity is under continuous scrutiny, with scientific analysis providing conflicting ages for the ink and parchment. An authentic Vinland map would represent the earliest depiction of the Americas, predating the journeys of Columbus. Alongside the Vinland map, the Kango map, crafted during Korea's Joseon dynasty in the year 142, adds another layer to the historical puzzle. This map, which precedes major European maps, offers a broad yet detailed view of China and its neighboring regions, showcasing the advanced cartographic knowledge of Eastern mapmakers long before their Western counterparts. These maps not only challenge the traditional Eurocentric narratives of discovery and exploration, but also suggest that the figures and events often relegated to the realm of myth might have been real. The discussions surrounding the Vinland map and the relative obscurity of the Kango map reveal a bias towards Western historical perspectives, often overlooking contributions from other cultures. Re-evaluating these artifacts brings to light the potential historical connections across different cultures and questions the accuracy of long-held historical timelines. As these debates unfold, They highlight the complexity of historical interpretation and the influence of cultural perspectives in recognizing and valuing our past. This continuous re-examination helps bridge the divide between legend and historical fact, encouraging a more inclusive understanding of global history. From Göbekli Tepe's secrets, we uncover the Ming Dynasty's powerful maps, the political cartography of medieval Asia. The Kangnido map, with its meticulously detailed outlines of India and the Arabian Peninsula, serves as a testament to the Joseon dynasty's keen interest in geography and its strategic diplomatic relationships, particularly with its powerful neighbors, China and Japan. Unlike the controversial Piri Reis and Vinland maps, which have faced questions regarding their authenticity, the Kangnido map stands out for its recognized accuracy and reliability. This map clearly indicates the dynasty's dedication to understanding the world around it. It wasn't just a tool for travel, it was crucial for maintaining and forging alliances. With every carefully drawn line, it showcased the dynasty's capability to engage diplomatically, leveraging detailed cartographic information to facilitate political maneuvering and trade negotiations. The presence of such accurate maps during that era underlines the importance of cartography in statecraft and diplomacy. The detailed depiction of territories in the Kangnido map played a significant role in the Joseon dynasty's diplomatic strategies. It helped them navigate complex political landscapes and enabled precise communications with neighboring states, ensuring that they could manage their regional relationships effectively. Furthermore, the map was a symbol of the dynasty's intellectual and cultural sophistication. It reflected a broader understanding and appreciation of the world, which was essential for the dynasty's engagement in the region's politics and economics. This understanding was not only about marking territories, but also about knowing the political pulse of different regions, which was crucial for successful diplomacy. The Kangnido map was a critical diplomatic asset, a reflection of the dynasty's foresight, and a tool that helped it to navigate the intricate dynamics of East Asian diplomacy. Its existence and the detail it captured made it a vital component in the dynasty's efforts to project power, negotiate trade deals, and manage foreign relations. Through this map, the Joseon dynasty not only charted territories, but also charted the course of its diplomatic and economic engagements across Asia. Maps not only demonstrate the cartographic expertise of different cultures, but also highlight the extensive networks of medieval exploration that connected the world through trade and shared, albeit debated, mythologies. The deeper one delves into the history of cartography, the clearer it becomes that these maps from diverse cultures and epochs offer profound insights into the geopolitical ambitions and philosophical perspectives of their creators. Consider the maps from the Ming Dynasty in the early 15th century. These documents do more than simply depict lands and routes. They subtly reflect the dynasty's intent to expand its realm. Ostensibly created for navigation, these maps also served as instruments of power, subtly asserting dominance under the pretense of exploration. In Europe, maps from the same period often showed their continents as disproportionately large, subtly underscoring their cultural significance and suggesting a sense of superiority. Map-making, therefore, transcended its practical utility to become a medium of subtle influence, shaping perceptions effectively and discreetly. Each map narrates its own tale, not merely of land and sea, but of the cartographer's aspirations and apprehensions. The strategic placement of boundaries, the deliberate inclusion or exclusion of certain areas, and the imaginative depictions of mythical creatures at the edges. All these elements speak volumes about the prevailing worldviews. In scrutinizing these artifacts, one notices the strategic omissions and artistic liberties that were taken. The so-called objectivity of a map is frequently compromised by the subjective vision of its creator, who chooses what features to highlight and what to obscure. This selective depiction reflects the underlying dialogues filled with political motivations and cultural biases that influenced how societies perceived themselves and others during that era. Consequently, these ancient maps do more than chart the physical geography of the world. They also delineate a landscape of human ambition cultural bias, and intercultural interactions. These interactions were as much about wielding power and propagating certain viewpoints as they were about exploration and the exchange of goods. As such, these maps are invaluable not only for their geographic content, but also for their ability to reveal the complex interplay of culture, politics, and perception that shaped the medieval world. Crafted with techniques that were quite advanced for its era, the mapmakers demonstrated a nuanced understanding of scale and landscape, skills that set this map apart from its contemporaries. The sophisticated cartographic methods used suggest that the map was as much about demonstrating the Ming Empire's reach and influence as it was about navigation and geography. The depiction of foreign lands, however, was somewhat cursory, focusing more on their relation to the Ming Empire than on their own unique characteristics. These regions were represented not so much for their own sake, but as a way to frame the Ming dominance. Every choice in the design of the map, from the central positioning of the empire to the minimal detailing of other lands, was infused with the intent to assert superiority and control. The Deming Hun Yi II thus served a dual purpose. On one hand, it was a practical tool for those navigating and administering the vast empire. On the other hand, it was a political instrument, subtly reinforcing the idea of the Ming Empire as a paramount power in the world. Through this map, the empire could project its image both internally to its subjects and externally to the broader world. The Ming dynasty had a special way of making maps that was very different and ahead of its time compared to how Europeans did it back then. The Ming people made their maps very carefully, using grids and keeping everything the same size, which is something that European mapmakers started doing much later. These maps mostly showed the land and the borders of different places, not paying much attention to the seas or oceans. This shows that their main use was to help run the empire more than anything else. While Europeans were busy drawing maps of new places in the sea and finding new lands, the Ming dynasty was more about making sure their maps were right and showed their empire very clearly. They didn't make maps because they wanted to find new places to take over. They made them because they needed to keep things under control at home. The Ming maps were filled with details and were very useful, helping to show everything about the empire so it could be managed better. The Ming cared more about knowing their own land well than going out to find new places. Their maps were not for adventure, but for better understanding and organizing the land they already had. This was very different from the Europeans, who made maps to help them compete with each other and take over new places. These detailed maps from the Ming dynasty showed how everything in the empire was connected and under control. They were very important for running the empire smoothly, making sure everyone knew where the boundaries were and that the central government had the power it needed to oversee its large area. Did the Ming dynasty's focus on land over maritime exploration limit China's potential for global dominance? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and subscribe for more historical insights.